kept pushing on, but then you went too far. When your ship has sailed and all your dreams are lost, everything is wrong, you feel like it's your fault. Just remember, I will be there for you, baby. Remember, there's nothing out there to get you, don't forget it. When life throws lemons, just call on me. Just call on me. Just call on me. Just call on me. You're stronger now than you ever been. You gotta leave now, it's time to catch the wind. You will climb up high and look through the clouds, and when you're feeling low, I know you'll bounce back. Oh, and just remember, I will be there for you, baby. Remember, there's nothing out there to get you, don't forget it. When life throws lemons, just call on me. Just call on me.
Welcome everybody in to Atlanta Motor Speedway. I'm Mike Timoni up in the booth. Alongside me is Alan Bergen. Alan, how is it going, man?
It's going good, Mike. You know, nice Saturday. Ready for a Sunday or Saturday drive here as we get ready to get going here in the Peach State of Atlanta, Georgia.
Got the big Peach 200 here for the iSNF Cup Series as they're finishing up practice here. It is the new configuration, so these guys have had a few turns at the track. Looks like we've had 3 races here, 2 different winners. Defending champion from last season was Cody McCorkle. These guys are set for 130 laps. Stage breaks at 40 and 80. Weather's not too bad here tonight. We got 65-degree ambient air, 77-degree on the track. Last week, we did see Pastor take the pole and take the victory. Charles Buscher led the most laps, but points leader Angel Hernandez was able to bring home another podium finish and extend his points lead. I got a few hometown heroes here today. We've got Shane Posey from Fitzgerald, Georgia, and Jason Ricketts from Dawsonville, Georgia. So that is a couple guys looking to get some home track wins here. Alan, you've been with this series for a few weeks. How do you think this race is kind of going to play out here?
Well, I can tell you what. Let's go back to last week whenever stage 1 ended fairly normal, but stage 2 had the crazy ending as you had drivers, you know, pushing it like Tristan Bailey running out of gas at the end of stage 2 under caution, and just, you know, these guys were kind of all over the place on fuel strategy. But nonetheless, after it's all said and done, Julian Martinez Pastore, you know, pulled off the win there at you know, last week's track.
Yeah, definitely did good to head down to South Florida. They're at Homestead in the Everglades 200. But point standings as we enter here tonight in the Big Peach 200, we got Angel Hernandez with 289 points. Charles Buscher back there with 260. Christian Delgado 242. Christian Bailey 201. And Isaac Wilson round out that top 5 with 186 points there. So quite a bit to make up here as they're getting set. I mean, this is going to be week week 7 in the
Week
series
7,
here. So yeah, these guys have quite the race set up. Let me see if we can.
Well, I can tell you right now, Mike, you know, the guys to watch right now are Angel Hernandez. He's one to watch. You know, Charles Boucher, you know, he had a good run going for him there when we were at the Roval, and he kind of buried himself, you know, that week. And then last week, you know, Pastore came from a drive-through penalty all the way to winning the race, and just drove the wheels off of that 41 car.
Yeah, definitely. As these guys get ready, have about 5.5 minutes left here in practice before we jump over to the qualifying session. Top 5 favorites to win tonight are Angel Hernandez, Isaac Wilson, Justin Barkley, Rhea Ferris, and Tristan Bailey. And when we were talking about the hometown heroes, Shane Posey is subbing for Joshua Gross in the 23 machine. So not only is he a hometown hero, but he's subbed in just for this race. So look at that 23 to try and make a run here and get at least the podium here as a hometown hero. Robert Lynch Jr. is also jumping in here for Mark Morton in the 31 machine. And driver that's going to be out this evening is going to be Chris Otto. He's out. Mike Simon subbing in the 71. And then you have Charles Edid Brochet in the 3 out this week, as Matthias is going to sub for him in the 3 machine.
And the other thing too, Mike, that I want to point out is this week they get a realism point. So this league they like to they get 5 realism points for the realism for. So if they run an actual NASCAR paint, they get 5 extra. They get 5 points on for that.
Yeah, they definitely go through. They put in a lot of work trying to make this as real as they can. They got that realism bonus point today, but it is Atlanta Motor Speedway. You go back to what it was configured before they switched over here to the super speedway type track. They basically just changed the banking. So they reconfigured it to the quad oval back in like 94, and then as the 2022 season started, they changed the bankings to have 28 degrees instead of 24, and they narrowed the track up just a little bit. But this is one of the fastest tracks you're going to see these drivers head to here, and it is a drafting track, not like it was before where you could kind of run any lane you wanted to try and get up towards the front.
Yeah. So, these guys are going to have to draft a lot. They got to have friends. I don't know, and maybe someone can confirm this, but I believe that the out of bounds rule is in effect here too, like it is at Talladega and Daytona. But something I want to point out too also is, I got some news for you. I was actually able to look at the penalty report from last week, and last week's winner, Julian Martinez Pastor, he's got to serve a drive-through penalty at the start. So Tristan Bailey's got to do a drive-through penalty also, and I believe that's it. So as far as your drive-through penalties, be watching for those drivers do their drive-through penalties tonight before we get going.
Yeah, I was kind of looking at that, and it looked like there was maybe a misunderstanding about how to serve the drive-through penalty last week. And
Yeah.
lucky for the winner, he's able to serve it this week instead of getting DQ'd from last week's win. So, yeah, Tristan Bailey. Yeah, so looks like a couple of them aren't going to be able to serve their penalties. The Richard Childress Racing number 3 looks like he's going to probably have to do it next week when he's back.
And next week we're in Vegas, so that's a tough track to serve a penalty like that, because you're going to get buried real quick.
Yeah.
So Mike, we got about 60 seconds left in practice here before we get going to qualifying. So, here we are in Atlanta. This track is full of grip, but I do kind of miss the old surface where you could slide around a lot.
Yeah, you could drive almost anywhere you wanted, and it made it more of a driver's track. This new layout, it's definitely that super speedway, and it's not like the super speedway of Talladega or even Daytona. I mean, it's kind of like it, but you're not going to see these guys go 2x2 around the track for an extended period of time as you would, you know, at Daytona or Talladega. I imagine we're going to see these guys go pretty quickly to single file, try and log some laps, and then try and, you know, make some moves throughout the race, but not not all at the same time here.
Yeah, so we're gonna go 130 laps, and then we're going to do stage breaks, like you said, lap 30 and lap 80, as we are set to qualify here. And the first car out on the track is going to be the number 3 car, Matthews. It's a French name. I don't even try it. I want to say Besquis or whatever. I don't know. Frank Bescu, yeah. Frank is way better at this than I am.
Yeah, it is one of our sub drivers out on track here, trying to get that 3 up there for some points here.
And that's the cool thing about being a sub, Mike, is you don't really have to worry about points racing. You can just race for the win. You know, I mean, granted, you got owner's points that, you know, at stake, but I'd rather just race for the win myself.
Yeah, so in the last 3 races here, as these guys are getting their laps in here, the last 3 races, we have 2 different winners, like I said. The average cautions per race is 9. Average lead changes is 24, so definitely a lot of moving and shaking. And as you were talking about the rule there, the red line rule is in effect. You can't go down below it unless you're trying to avoid a wreck. So you can't go down there and try and advance your position unless it's avoiding a wreck. As we see these guys starting to complete laps here, Jared McCauley up there with a 31.25 in that 10 Ford. Joey Maines jumps up to the top of the board with a 31.24 too.
By the time we get done qualifying, we're going to see a sub 30 lap. We're getting very close.
Yeah,
Isaac Wilson.
Oh, Jackson Carr up there with the 31.06. We got that 13 Chevy up there. See who else is out on track here. Robert Lynch Jr. See if we can check in with one of these other drivers. Looks like just getting rolling here. Mike Iskandar finished his first lap with a 31.75. These guys are definitely moving. Their second lap seems to be a lot faster here by 14 hundredths or thereabouts is what it looks like. Almost everybody's gaining as they roll through here. This is a pretty short qualifying session as we got 2 minutes left here. Tristan Bailey in the 19 Toyota with a 31.14 second time by.
You gotta wonder, has anybody got anything for that 31 flat?
Well, I think you're going to see these guys try and get up towards that outside wall as they make their way around the track, get enough speed into the ride, and then trying to get down and ride right on that red line as they go around the track, trying to get as much speed with the shortest way around the track. As we see Tristan Bailey riding that red line, we'll see where he's going to wind up here. Comes out of 4, headed to the start-finish line. $31.15 that time by. Mike Iskandar up there with the 31.25. Jeff Weimer, 31.23. Chris Smith in that 21 Ford with a 31.26.
Well, I tell you one thing, Mike. I hope this race goes green to checkered. I hope I didn't just jinx this. If I did, it's my fault. But nonetheless, I mean, with the, I think this race could go green to checkered. I would love to see it go rag to rag, but you know, it is what it is. If it does, it does. If it doesn't, then that's fine too.
Well, it could be a pretty quick race if that's the case. Chris Smith finishing his lap. Matt Metler out there in the 60 Ford. Got a 31.32 for his qualifying bid. Looks like about half the drivers left. Decided not to take a qualifying run here, so we'll go ahead and get that out of the way and jump on over and look at the qualifying grid here. So we got
Hopefully.
yeah. There we go. So we got Jackson Carr up there with a 31.059. Andrew Miller just to his outside. Christian Delgado and Curtis Kelly make up row 2. Row 3, Joey Maines and Isaac Wilson. Robert Lynch Jr. and Emmanuel Borgette in the 33 and the 8 position there. Row 5 is Tristan Bailey and Robert Rowe. You got Franz Schneider and Jack Jagerman in row 6. Row 7, Shane Griffin, Jared McCauley, Michael Hagstrom, and Mike Iskandar make up row 8. Row 9, Michael Gervey and Steven Sir. And you go back to Rhea Ferris and Charles Robertson. Justin Barkley and Chris Manstrist. Jason Ricketts and John Hopley make up row 12. You got Angel Hernandez and Rosa Laszlo, Jeff Weimer and Mike Simon on 27, 28, 29th brings up Adrian Arenas and Mastiff Besk. Chris Smith and Matt Metler make up row 16. Row 17, Larry Fairman and Michael McDowell. Julian Pastor and Shane Posey start 35th and 36th. Right, Ka Gomes and Eduardo Rapto. Brian Chu and Brian Treadwell make up row 20. 21 is Bob Wycroft and Casey Tomlinson.
That's your starter field. Mike, we got to go brush up on our French.
Oh, yes, we definitely do. So we got Jackson Carr going to lead him on down.
If anybody out there in the YouTube chat wants to sponsor a guy from Wyoming and a guy from St. Louis, a French class, we're open.
Definitely hoping for something here. As these guys get ready to roll off, this is a full field. So, looks like they should be getting ready to roll off here. Get these guys.
Anticipation.
Yeah, these guys are rolling off. Christian Delgado going to get that outside lane. Well, this is interesting. We got the 13 and the 16 teammates on this inside row here from Colleague Racing. So definitely guys to look out for. They're going to be working together right from the get-go here.
Yeah, and these guys, I was able to drive the 13 car there at Daytona for Colleague Racing here, and they said no pressure. His car won last year, so. But I ended up wrecking out, so it didn't fare so well. So I'm glad Jackson Carr's back in that car today. the driver out of Des Moines, Iowa. He's a long ways from Des Moines, Iowa, here in the virtual Atlanta Motor Speedway.
Yeah, these guys, these guys kind of talking about tire sets. 60% fuel, and they have plenty of tires. Tires will not be an issue tonight.
I think they have unlimited tires by mistake.
So, who is your guy to watch here as we get set to get underway here, Alan?
You watch that number 45 car, Rangel Hernandez. He's starting deep in the field, but you know, he's a force to be reckoned with.
Looks like a couple drivers are gonna start from the pits here. So 13 Chevy Jackson car is going to lead them on down here in Atlanta as we get set for the Big Peach 200 in the state of Georgia. 43 gets a pretty good jump on that outside, and he's going to cross that start-finish line first.
Yeah, your Curtis Kelly has his teammate there in the 42 of, you know, Andrew Miller's got Curtis Kelly right behind him there in the 42 car. They head down the back straightaway. Looks like we got cars switching inside and outside lines, but here comes Jackson Carr. He is running P1 right now, and he's got a pretty handedly controlled on the inside there.
Yeah, got teammate of the 16, Christian Delgado, behind him as they slide up in front of the 43 machine in that high lane. Looks like they get a little loose, and that's going to allow the 9 of Joey Maines to make his way up towards the front, lead that bottom side. He's got the 24 teammate Isaac Wilson behind him. Get a little loose coming out of 4, headed to the start-finish line as they are side by side for the lead.
Yeah, they're seeing Joey Maines there, and that number 9 car looks like he's going to make a move to the inside and try to get the lead, that driver out of Kego Harbor, Michigan. And it looks like they're going 3 wide there towards the back.
Yeah, looks like the 41 machine started on pit lane, was trying to make his way through. Jackson Carr still leading the race, but these guys are bouncing all over each other. Looks like Shane Posey jumped down to the pits.
Yeah, he might be, maybe his fun meter's starting to get pegged out a little bit there.
Did you see the 19 jump out of line there, go down to the inside, let it roll on by? But you were talking sub 30 lap times here. Jared McCulley just ran a 29.55, fastest lap of the race in that Stuart Haas number 10 Ford here. As they go side by side, still, you can kind of see them fan out just a little bit in the front.
Yeah, we got the 77 car, Jack Yeagerman there. And for Spire Motorsports, a driver out of Nashville, Tennessee. And, you know, these guys are just buying their time, letting the race come to them. As soon as they got there in this first run, as we work our way towards that first stage break there at lap 80.
Oh, first stage breaks lap 40, but
40.
all good. These guys are coming up on some lap cars up here. Guys that elected to start in the pits.
Whoa,
and that just sent the 16 up into the wall, it looked like there. That 16 into that outside wall.
He keeps it green.
Christian Delgado went to avoid the lap car and got all sorts of out of shape as he went into that outside wall.
I'm not exactly sure who the lap cars are, but they fell back in line there. I believe that one of them is the 23 car, and that is Shane Posey there.
Yeah, 23 is Shane Posey is in line now, but definitely it looked like he caused a little bit of a headache. Looks like the 4 machine jumps out of line. Is going to let these guys roll on by.
Now you can go down there and you can go down below the red line to maybe back up a few positions, but you cannot advance your position.
Definitely not. As you see Robert Lynch slide up behind the 13, get behind the teammate, and is going to try and push that outside line back towards the front. 42 of Curtis Kelly right on the bumper. Looks like he's going to force it 3 wide, go 3 wide in the middle. 31 is up in the high line, is going to have to give that position up, and they are still 3 wide with the 10 in the middle there of Jared McCauley.
Yeah, Jared McCauley there in the number 10 car, that Black Rifle Coffee Company Ford, that 35-year-old driver out of Arizona. He's got 21 starts, 0 wins. He's hungry for a win here today.
Yeah, Robert Lynch got into the outside wall, and he is losing wholesale positions now after he did not like being 3 wide there. 51 of John Hopley in the high lane.
Yeah, he hasn't been born yet. Isaac Wilson, that driving 30-year-old out of Shelton, Washington there. He's got 78 starts, and he's another guy that's, hungry for a win. 24 star, 78 starts, 24 top 10s, and 36 DNFs. I
would say looking at those stats, it looks like it's a top 10 or he wrecks out. So definitely look for him to get inside this top 10 here.
He's a records or checkers kind of guy. I love it.
Well, I think that's the only thing he's missing is the checkered flag there.
He's got the records down pat.
These guys are out on track making quick work here as we're already through lap 13. As we jump back to pole setter Jackson Carr here. They did back a little ways, lost a couple teammates as they slid up into that outside wall. Got some damage and are a little slower now, but everybody else is kind of single file towards the back. You said to watch out for the 45 Toyota of Angel Hernandez, and that is exactly what everybody should do. He's got that Xfinity 45 Toyota on the move up 16 spots already.
Yeah, he's running Xfinity 10G in that race car to get himself up to the front there. And, he's got 6 wins on the year, or 6 wins in his career. 60 out of 61 starts. He was a champion.
Yeah, season 5 champ was he, and looks like he's trying to make pretty quick work here as Andrew Miller goes back to the point in that Legacy 43 Toyota. A man closer to my neck of the woods in North Dakota.
Couple 2-3 hours away from you, I'm sure.
Yeah, something
Maybe.
like that.
We're on lap 15 out of 130, and so far it's been all Jackson Carr from the start of this one.
Yeah, Jackson Carr keeps going back just a little ways, fading back towards the back, and then drives right back to the front. You can see these lines kind of going side by side as the car. Whoa. Looked like he jumped to the pits as he was wrecking there.
Then you got Robert Lynch there. So the other thing too I want to make note of, Jackson Carr will fall back, and he's got a teammate there, or an ally there in that 33 car of Emmanuel Frege. And so here comes that inside line, but now he's got Angel Hernandez on. And Angel Hernandez is not a bad drafting partner to have, especially since he knows how to get around some of these tracks pretty well.
Yeah, Angel Hernandez is now up 22 spots. Doesn't seem to matter where he starts. He always seems to make his way towards the front. One of our international drivers here in the iSNF Cup Series.
Yes, right now we got Forget there in that 33 car. Angel Hernandez running in second. Jackson Carr is going to try to get another run on the outside as he's got help from a manufacturer teammate in Franz Bertschneider. And then, you know, back there in sixth, you know, Christian Delgado is probably the closest teammate that he has from college racing.
Yeah, Christian Delgado started behind that 13 machine on the inside row. They were trying to make pretty quick work here and get back towards the front, and then the 16 had to take some evasive action, got a little damage on the right side of that machine, faded back, but now he is on the move back towards the front. You can also see another one of their teammates, Robert Lynch, in that 31 circular machine in that outside row. Saw him check that outside line and kind of get a little damage there as well, but he's back inside the top 10 this time by.
For sure, Jackson Carr there on the outside as the tank car of Jared McCauley going to make a move on the inside for the lead, and here comes 4J right there with him, and we got a caution out on the speedway here on lap 21. I know it's not the end of the stage.
Oh, caution towards the back of the pack here. See if we can take a look and see what happened here. Oh. Like the 217.71. Oh, no, that would be the 12. Oh, the 17 got bad net code, got flipped clear around. That 17 looked like they didn't even touch. Yeah, so that is the 12 machine, it looked like. But just watch here as they go door to door almost. Everything's fine here.
Yeah, that would be net code.
Yeah, it just kind of slides up just a little bit, but watch the 17 just get jumped right there. Not even close. So that's going to be a little rough to get around there, but Jared McCauley up front, lap 23, so gonna get halfway through the first stage before we have our first caution here tonight.
So that's going to put Jared McCauley up there in the top spot there. You know, we're 23 laps into stage one. I don't think people are going to come down pit road, Mike. I think they're going to wait it out and get to the end of the stage. I mean, but then again, they do have a limited tire set, so therefore they might do it. They might come down anyways and take advantage of the unlimited tires that they have.
Yeah, I was reading the tires. Looks like they have 30 extra tire sets in the pit. Somebody's definitely going to take advantage of that. Looks like about half the field came down, even if they weren't involved there with. Let's see, it looks like 17th on back with Angel Hernandez. Angel Hernandez came down. So, Charles Robertson, Jackson Carr. Andrew Miller, Robert Lynch. A lot of the guys got a little bit of damage in that first run. So we'll see if they're going to take advantage here Looks like
So nonetheless,
I want to say, looks like lights are getting out on the pace car.
yeah, the lights are on the pace card. Mike Iskander is going to be starting in P2, and Jared McCauley is going to start in the pole here on this restart as we go back to the green. 25 laps into the 120 or 130 lap showdown. So once we get to lap 30, it's going to be pretty much 100 laps to go. But holding my beer, and Angel Hernandez he's going to start P17.
Well, he's going to have plenty of time to get back to the front. I mean, it took him 20 laps from the back of the field to get towards the front, and I imagine they'll be looking towards the top 10 in this stage here as well.
He's going to try it. He's looking for stage points tonight. Nonetheless, I mean, and that's a good thing about him picking up the win in South Florida is he got Jared McCauley coming to the Geico restart zone. He's going to be on the button. He's going to have Iskander on the inside there, and McCauley takes off. We are down in the race, down and away, and he's got the 42 car coming with him, and that is Curtis Kelly there.
Yeah, you noticed on that restart, Jared McCauley with the Geico restart zone in effect, waited to the very last second. Mike Iskander tried to anticipate and anticipated wrong, kind of stacked up that inside lane a little bit, and we're single file through the top 7 thereabouts. Then it's 2x2.
Look out now, Angel Hernandez is on the move. He's put some more Xfinity 10G in that race car again there on the last pit stop there. But here we're looking at Joey Maines there. He's down 2 spots, so he started 5th. Now he's down to 7th, 8th now.
Definitely has a lot of experience, does Joey Maines here in the Cup Series. Has 103 starts, so definitely knows what it takes to get the races done here.
Joey Maines on the inside. He's starting that second group, and he's drafting back up to the first 5 cars now. The first 4 cars. He's all over that one car of Mike Iskander, and Iskander fell all the way back down to 21st. I wonder what happened there.
Yeah, it looks like he got pushed out of line and now is just falling back to the tail end of the field here. Well, maybe not. Maybe he had a connection issue.
Nonetheless, Andrew Miller sets the fastest lap with a 23 or 29 or 29:13 so far.
Jump back up to the front as these guys are starting to spread out just a little bit. Looks like you have the 42 of Curtis Kelly trying to go to the high side of the 9 machine, but he is going backwards in that Family Dollar machine. 22 of Justin Barkley is making his way up a couple spots here on that inside row.
Justin Barkley, the driver out of Tampa, Florida, got 32 starts on the year, 0 wins, 8 top 5, 21 DNS, and he's looking to get his first win here tonight too, as we are at 100 laps to go and we got 10 laps left in the stage. Business is starting to pick up here as we come inch closer and closer to the end of the stage. Jared McCauley there for Stuart Haas, 35-year-old out of Morenci, Arizona, 21 start, 2 top 10, 12 DNL. You know, that pit car, he's slightly better than Noah Gregson. I mean, minus the indefinite suspension and all.
Yeah, nobody talks about that. Isaac Wilson's been pushing that 10 machine for the last 10 laps or so. See if he's gonna jump out in front of his teammate in the 9 and Joey Maines and try and get that outside line to work towards the front. And as I say that, he does just that. Takes the lead as they come through the corner.
Here comes Joey Maines up there. Just the two Hendrick cars working together. Joey Maines out of Kego Harbor, Michigan. The age of 25 there is, you know, look, I'm 38 and I'm a gamer, man. You know, so when you see drivers in their 30s, 40s, and I believe there's even a driver in their 50s, you know, getting after it, you know, gotta love the old man. Gotta love the old folks here on iRacing. I mean, Rhea Ferris, you know, one of the few ladies in the field who's 44 years young. Now, if I'm Rhea Ferris, I'm not going to put my age out there for all of YouTube to see, but I digress.
23 up there in the high line trying to stay out of the way as look who's coming to the front, the 54 Toyota of Charles Robertson. And he's got the 13 of Jackson Carr right behind him. And don't look now, but there's the 45 of Angel Hernandez back there as well.
I told you, he's one to watch for. I mean, I don't know what that car is. You know, look, it's powered by its Xfinity 10G. If you can't appreciate that, you know, Xfinity car, yeah. Whatever. Charles Robertson takes command of the race lead here on 36. We have 4 to go left in the stage here. As you know, it's been either Charles Robertson or Jackson Carr all night, and Angel Hernandez is waiting to pounce on the lead there.
Yeah, Isaac Wilson was trying to get that 24 machine to the front, and Robertson just turned down and shut that line off. 54 blocking both lanes, trying to keep everybody behind that 54 machine. Robertson playing who's gonna push me the farthest here. 24 starting to get a run on the inside row though.
So now the pit road is closed. So you cannot go down pit road until lap 40, and it's the 10th place car that triggered the caution to come out here. So we're guaranteed at least 2 cautions.
Guaranteed.
Guaranteed.
Isaac Wilson to the front. Joey Maines right behind him, working lap 39.
Here we come out of turn 2 down the back straightaway here. Isaac Wilson there in that 24, and Joey Maines pushing him pretty hard there. As we go on board with Joey Maines.
Oh, he got loose into that outside wall. Does Joey Maines.
Joey Maines had a check your pants moment there as Isaac Wilson still holds on to the lead, but he's got Franz Brett Schneider there and that number 8 car, and we have a caution out, and that is the end of the stage. So that makes Isaac Wilson your stage 1 winner.
Let's go back and take a look here, see if we can. Oh, came across the 42 machine there and gets into that outside wall.
We're gonna do something kind of
crazy
radical here after Isaac Williams or Isaac Wilson there. Looks like he's coming down pit road, or he's in pit road right now.
Get him up in the
getting his
booth.
We're gonna talk to our stage 1 winner here. We'll let him do his pit stop there. It's kind of distracting when you're doing a pit stop and you're trying to talk to the booth. Here he comes off of pit road. We'll go and get back on track here. There we go. And we will have a word with our stage 1 winner. Isaac, this is Alan and Mike up in SRM booth. You got a copy?
What's going on, guys?
Congratulations, winning stage 1. It's been a calm race. So, what's the strategy going forward here?
Well, I had a teammate up here with me. Not sure what happened to him. I heard he got a bad bump or something like that. Hopefully we can link back up together. If not, my friend's where I find him for now.
All right. So, real quick, it looks like you're going to line up there behind the 23 car. So, is stage 2 gonna, be the same strategy as stage 1? Keep it out front.
Well, so stage 1, I actually had to fall back a little bit there. There was no caution. I was short on fuel by like a lap, so I went back in the pack to make sure I make it on fuel if we didn't have a caution. This one, I think I should be good on fuel from the get-go, so I'm gonna try to hold the lead my best. But I mean, it's a competitive field out here, so got a lot of Toyotas lined up nose to tail behind me, so it's gonna be interesting.
All right. Well, if Mike's got anything for you.
No, we'll see if we can talk to you at the end of stage 2.
All right, take it easy, guys.
All right, let's get him back down to his team there. So that's Isaac Wilson, your stage 1 winner out of Shelton, Washington. We get the pace car doubled back up, and now he's got Charles Robertson on his outside. So I think he chose the right lane there, being on the inside line, and his closest help would be, Franz Bertschneider there in the 5 or in that 8 car, that Cheddar's car. So they do have the realism points in effect this week here, as I want to remind everybody, they do have that going for them. So our next stage break will be lap 80.
Yep, lap 80. We'll see what that 24 Chevy can do out front here. Kind of saw him bounce towards the back, came right back to the front after he got hooked up with his teammate there. Joey Maines, his teammate, is starting in P9, so not too far back, as the pace car is going to make that left-hand turn, and we're going to get set to let these drivers go once again here. Isaac Wilson with the button, selected the inside row this time. Waits almost till the end, and he is down and away. Gets a little bump there from the 42 machine as they get the green flag back underway here in the Big Peach 200.
Isaac Wilson out to a pretty heavy, out front there, that number 8 car. But here comes Charles Robertson on the outside, and he's bringing Angel Hernandez with him. As Angel Hernandez is hooked up with that 54 car. That is a technical alliance there with Joe Gibbs Racing there with that 45 car, as he is part of 2311 Racing there. The driver.
As Robertson gets a little, Robertson got a little loose there, slid up the track. Luckily for him, Angel Hernandez was able to slow it down just a little bit, and they go side by side.
Okay, so now you got Jackson Carr on that outside line there, and he's effectively running P5. But I would love to see him in that 77 car, Jack Yeagerman, get hooked up maybe and try to make a run to the front and create an outside line.
Yeah, you see these guys kind of bouncing around, working through lap 45 here of the 130. And you kind of see a gap forming in that inside lane. Looks like Justin Barkley has a little over a car length in front of him and a car length and a half behind him. If they can get that sucked up, they might be able to get that inside line to pull ahead like it was doing towards the end of stage number 1 there, as he starts fading back to the 21 of Chris Smith.
Yeah, Justin Barkley in the top 10, but out of the top 5, as that inside line from Justin Barkley on back on live support right now. Just as so as that outside line is still on life support as they try to get ahead of steam and go in here as they come down through the quad oval here on about 46.
And see just how close Curtis Kelly is to the back of the Raptor 24 Chevy of Isaac Wilson. Watch him just get sucked up right to that rear bumper on that Camaro. Give him a little bump before they get to the corner and then have to let him drive off just a little bit. You don't want to be bump drafting in the corner, so you're going to send somebody into that outside wall.
About 3 months ago, you could halfway do it with the old Toyota bodies, but with these new ones, they really don't match up well against other cars. But you know, it takes away the advantage over the Chevys and the Fords, when they had advantages over the rest of the field.
Back to that outside row, and Charles Robertson, he's got the 45 machine giving him a shove. Angel Hernandez, like they're kind of just minding their time here, as they're not really losing any time to that inside lane, but they're not really gaining anything either. They're kind of stuck basically side by side with the 8 car there. And just see the 42 get a little loose, slide down below that red line.
Stuck in neutral on the outside line is Charles Robertson there and that number 54 car. I feel like he's kind of holding up Angel Hernandez there in that 45 car. And that outside line, like you said, he's stuck, going anywhere. And, I don't wonder if any other cars take the bait as they try to get cars to go to the outside line. But right now, the inside line seems to be the money line here on lap number 50 as we got 30 laps to go in stage number 2.
It kind of makes you wonder, if you're that 8 car, if you're going to pull up in front of the 54 machine and try and make that outside line just blow by the top 3 leaders there, as there'll be a car length and a half gap between the 77 and the 22 as they work their way through turn number 4 here.
Brad Schneider thinking about taking the bait. Does he do it? Nope. And it's the 24 of Isaac Wilson, he's starting to build out another pretty good sizable lead there as they come off in the turn number 1. Here comes Robertson, though. They're trying to get that outside line to get ahead of steam as they have worked their way back up to, well, they haven't really gone nowhere, but they're starting to.
Yeah, they're trying to get that line moving. As you see, the 13 of Jackson Carr, the 10 of Jared McCauley, trying to figure out how to get this line moving, because they were fast. They were up front early. We'll see if they're going to be able to get there later as this run is wearing on here. You can see them trying to get some air onto the nose of those cars, get that temperature down just a bit.
Franz Bertschneider there. He's running, he's up there in the, I want to say the 4th position there. Yeah, the 4th position. And, that outside line is the inside line is too strong as the 54 car, Charles Robertson, fails on the outside line. And, now Jackson Carr and Angel Hernandez is hooked up.
Yeah, Jackson Carr, Angel Hernandez. Just take a look here. You thought the view before was tight. You can just see that 13 trying to get Angel Hernandez up to the front, pushing for all he can as they are even with the 54 of Charles Robertson down on the bottom line. And now here comes that outside line making a run.
Here comes the Angel Hernandez train, and he's the conductor. As we got cars looking all around him, Jackson Carr pushing Angel Hernandez for everything that he's got.
Spire Motorsports drivers Jack Yeagerman up here in P3 on that inside row But there's about a car length and a half gap back to the 8 of Franz Bertschneider. And that is going to slow that inside line down just a little bit here.
Yeah, Gagerman at number 44-year-old from Nashville, Tennessee. He's stuck on that inside line, which is kind of where he wants to be. But here comes Angel Hernandez on the outside, and he has battled his way back up to pull even with Jack Gagerman.
Yeah, Hernandez getting that outside line hooked up here. It's basically 3x3 if they can get it rolling, as Charles Roberson went clear back to P9 now after he kind of got shuffled back a little bit after he went down to the inside row.
We are 34 minutes in. We have already completed 58 laps here, or we're working on completing 58 laps here. This race has been clean and green so far, with the exception of one stage break for one. Isaac Wilson had won that one, but Angel Hernandez takes the lead on the outside, and he's bringing Jackson Carr right along with him.
Yeah, Jackson Carr, Jared McCauley, all in that outside lane, all getting back to the front. The 19 of Tristan Bailey in that Toyota trying to stay with the 10 machine. Looks like he's gonna kind of be drug along just a little bit.
Well, I can tell you right now, Mike, so some notables. Mike Iskander in that one car, he has called it a night and put it on the hauler. Caio Gomez, he has called it a night there in that number 4 car and put it on the hauler. And the AI car has called it on the night and put it on the AI hauler. Well, I take that back. Mike Iskander is doing some service there in the pit road. Nonetheless, he is several laps down. Larry Feynman there in that 17 car, he has effectively put it on the hauler, and he is done for the night too. As well as Shane Posey in that 23 car, looks like he hasn't been on track for a hot minute. Emmanuel Forget in that 33 car, he is several laps down.
Yeah, I'm saying it looks like Mike Iskandar fixed his connection issues and is trying to get back on track. Just get some points here as they're working their way through here.
Yeah, so effectively, you know, Mike Simon in that number 91 car, he's, you know, several laps down. Let's see here. Rhea Ferris is in the top 15. She's on the lead lap. So once you get down to about Jason Ricketts in that 48 car, that's when you start getting into your lap cars.
And Joey Maines was up front right at the end of that stage break. Got a little bit of, got a little loose, got a little bad push there maybe. And now he finds himself 16th. Chris Smith also was towards the front and winds up coming towards the back here. But they are battling up front as the 10 machine tried to get a run and is stuck in the middle now.
Stuck in the middle with you. He tried to find a home on the inside line.
The 41 machine, last week's winner, Julian Martinez Pastor, is up on the lead here after having to serve his drive-through penalty on lap number 2. He is back up front. Angel Hernandez slides down behind him, and they are going to work together and try. Well, I thought it was him. 19 of Tristan Bailey went down to the bottom side. Now he's back up top.
Tristan Bailey on the outside, working his way around that number 42 car of Curtis Kelly. Angel Hernandez on the outside and passed Story, last week's winner. And he got caution on the speedway here.
43 machine looks like he gets a little bit of a bad push, hits Joey Maines, gets back in line, but check up everybody. Looks like Rhea Ferris gets ran into by the 21 machine, and the 14 gets hit as well. The 31 as they get a pile up here. Let's see if we can take another look here. On board with the 14 machine. Just nowhere for him to go there. Take another look here. Oh, Robert Rowe just got ran into. Take a look from the onboard here. Of Rhea Ferris here.
The tough break from the 44-year-old from Cleveland, Ohio.
Yeah, let's take a look here at one more driver. Just Chris Smith, what he saw.
He just had nowhere to go. Rhea checked up, and then he really just had nowhere to go after that. Nonetheless, though, we got we're working lap 68, so we got about 11 laps left in the stage.
So the question's gonna be,
Do you come or do you not come?
yeah, when do you want to make your next pit stop?
I want to say that they're probably going to double up now, and they're going to wait till the end of the stage. We only got 11 laps left in stage 1 here.
Yeah,
So
I think if you're in the front, you're going to stay up here. You're going to race for the stage points. If you're in the back, pitting's not going to change anything too much here.
No.
So we got Curtis Kelly and Tristan Bailey on the front row of this restart.
As we get ready to go 10 laps of stage racing here, does Isaac Wilson have enough to have anything up to get back up to the front and win stage 2 and sweep stages? We don't know, but right now Tristan Bailey and Curtis Kelly are in command of the field right now, and it looks like Curtis Kelly is taking the inside line, and it's going to be, and he's got Angel Hernandez there right behind him. So those are alliance teams right there with 2311 and Legacy Motorsport, or Motor Club rather, sorry. So the driver out of St. John, New Brunswick is going to lead the field to green as we come out of 4. Curtis Kelly on the button with the restart zone, and he is down and away, and he waits way late to take off, but nonetheless, his 3 Toyotas in command of this field. We got 10 laps to go on the stage.
Looks like they allowed the 19 Toyota of Tristan Bailey to get down between themselves and Angel Hernandez. That inside line starting to form up pretty quickly.
Here comes the inside line. The outside line picking up ahead of steam right there, as the outside line is being spearheaded by Jack Yeagerman at 77 car. And once again, they're getting realism points this week for the real life NASCAR teams. But that 41 car Pastor is jumped out to the outside line. And it was moves like that, Mike, that got him to win last week as a driver from Spain. Has 1 win and 3 cup starts at 2 top 10s.
And definitely making his presence felt here in the iSNF Cup Series.
Pastor working that outside as you're looking back his closest teammate as far as cooperation goes, as Chris Van Maastricht there in that 38 car.
They're 3 wide once again here with the 13 Jackson
We
car
got
in the middle, 38 around.
As Van Maastricht there in the 38 car. And this is the wild end to the stage. We are only 8 laps to the finish of stage 2, and we've already had 2 caution flags. From the Muskegon, Michigan native, brings out caution number 2 of the night. Looks like he gets into Isaac Wilson had nowhere to go. Plus Joey Main, Justin Barkley, Jack Yeagerman.
Take a look here. On board with Isaac Wilson. And he looked like he had the position there, so if we can.
I think they're just going for the same piece of real estate here.
See the 13 machine here of Jackson car getting by. Just a little bit of damage, maybe. Go under caution once again here as we are getting closer to the end of the stage. Looks like it's probably going to be a 4-lap shootout here for the stage break.
Yep. Not bad though. We're only 46 minutes in, and we've had 2 cautions, 3 cautions, 2 for cause. So I kind of jinxed them. Look,
Kind of?
kind of jinxed. Yeah. We get ready to re-rack them and restack them. It looks like Curtis Kelly's going to continue on the inside line there. The driver out of St. John, New Brunswick there. And Joey Main back on track after being collected in the last incident there.
Yeah, Joey Mains was just getting back to his teammate and was collateral damage there as the 38 got sent back up the racetrack and collected a few drivers.
As we get ready to go back to green here for a 4-lap shootout to the end of the stage. I hope, stage 1 is, ending pretty much like it did last week at this point. It was there, stage 1 was the cleanest stage ever, and then stage 2 seemed like everybody had incidents. But that's the sense of urgency that you get with stage racing.
Yeah, that's definitely something that happens as we get ready to go back to green. Curtis Kelly down on the inside. Tristan Bailey on the high side. Angel Hernandez back there in third. We're going to see if they're going to stack up once again here. If that 19 is going to be allowed to get down to the inside line. And it doesn't look like he does at the moment. He's even with Curtis Kelly there.
Tristan Bailey even with Curtis Kelly. Here comes Franz Bernschneider there on the outside in the 8 car. We're down the back straightaway. And, you know, I want to point something out, Mike, is, you know, whenever they introduced the stage racing, everybody thought that it was new, it was garbage. But honestly, you know, if you look back in time, they were doing stage racing all the way back to the All-Star race when it was called the Winston. But then you were eliminating cars at the end.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of a good thing when you take, you know, 5 or 6 cars out of a race because they're just kind of taking up track here, and then you leave the faster drivers towards the end, and everybody's racing for a position to make it to the next stage.
2 laps to go here in the stage 2, and the pits are closed here as we come down turn number 1, and it's going to be a battle between Curtis Kelly and Tristan Bailey. Curtis Kelly out of St. John, New Brunswick. Tristan Bailey to his outside. Who's going to have the advantage as they come down the back or off the front? Ooh, we got a car in the wall.
19 into the wall. The 8 around off the nose of the 24.
I believe that will be the stage.
That is definitely going to be the stage as everybody is collected on the front stretch here.
Curtis Kelly cross the line first, and at the end of the caution, it looks like Jackson Carr not too happy with the 48 car of Jason Rickett out of Dawsonville, Georgia.
Three checks up. 48 still going pretty quick here. That doesn't look like he's weaving his way through traffic. Runs right into the left rear quarter of the 13. Let's see if we can get to the 24 machine. Take a look and see what happened from Wilson's point of view here. Well, it looks like a bad push there from the 8 machine since the 19 around. 19 just can't get it under control. The 8 goes in front, and that's just going to stack him up here on the front stretch.
And things happen like so quickly on this racetrack. It's insane, but nonetheless.
If we can take a look here from the nose here. Looks like it's good, and then all of a sudden it's just not. Fixed machine involved, 17.
Well, with that being said, I believe that makes Curtis Kelly our stage 2 winner.
Yeah, I do believe Curtis Kelly is going to be the stage winner, so you want to grab him and talk to him for a minute there?
Grab Mr. Curtis Kelly. We're going to just... Curtis Kelly is Alan and Mike in the SRM booth. You got a copy?
Yep.
congratulations, stage 2 winner, as we get doubled up here pretty quickly. So what's your thoughts there at the end of the stage there, as everything went haywire?
Just happy to be on the bottom there and able to make it through, I guess. Not sure fully what happened, but bump gone wrong is what I'm gonna guess.
All right, well, you got fellow Legacy Motorsports teammate there in the number 84 car. So we hope we'll get to talk to you at the end of the race.
Appreciate it.
Yep. And we will get him down to Legacy Motorsports. So here we go. You know, we're at lap 81. We got a little over, what, 40 to go? 41 to go here in stage 2 or stage 3 as we get ready for the final stage. And we have Brian Chu bringing them down the green, that 84 car, and we are down and away for the stage 3.
Brian Chu. He is definitely one of the drivers to look out for. He can come in and win at any moment in time. Joey Maines making his way back to the front after coming down on lap 73. Elected to get that damage fixed on 73 when that caution came out. So he will not need to hit on that caution as Julian Pastor goes to the high side, trying to get that high lane back towards the front here.
Yeah, and so now there's a real sense of urgency as Pastor goes to the lead here. Mr. Julian Martinez, and he's got Emmanuel Forget there. So we got the drivers in Spain, 2 Canadians. Brian Chu, or Jared McCauley is the first American driver back there in 4th position there.
And we have a caution out on track. Looks like Shane Posey, Mike Iskandar.
Man, I knew I jinxed this. 84. And we are under the caution.
Well, let's see. I don't know what. See if maybe we can see what happened. Oh, it's even before this. We can see kind of what happened here. Oh, even further up here. Are you seeing something on this? Oh, here we go. 11 checked up. Checked up. And then everybody just kind of slowed down, and that's what caused the issue.
Reaction.
It's just something that happens here.
There really wasn't nothing. Yeah, it's really nothing anybody could do differently.
Yeah, no, definitely nothing anybody could do here as we are getting close. We're going to see. Yep, so we're going to see if anybody can make a pit strategy call, maybe to get some track position, get up towards the front. Seems to be the safest place to be tonight.
Yes, we're 85 laps in. It looks like the 33 car is going to come down and get pit services here. That's Emmanuel Forget. They're in that number 33 Chevrolet. But it's a new race now. We got some drivers we haven't seen in a minute back up there in the front.
Looks like we've got Brian Chu's the only driver that stayed out on lap 70, or when that last stage break caution came out. He pitted on lap 68. Looks like everybody else kind of came down. The first car that came down on lap 84 is going to be the 48 machine. Oh, no. The 11 machine of Shane Griffin there. So, see if that's going to play out. As we know, these guys can get 38 to 40 laps of green flag run on a fuel run. Kind of makes you wonder when everybody's going to try and make it down pit lane here. With we're 44 laps to go. So
44 to go, yep. And, you know, cautions precaution.
Announcer's curse brings cautions.
Oh. Okay, you've been hanging out with Dave too long.
You know how it goes.
Hey, when you jinx the announcer, you gotta take the shuttle. You gotta take the subtle jabs, I guess. Meanwhile, if you don't forget to like and subscribe and hit that bell notification, you will be notified every time SRM goes live. As Julian Martinez Pastor goes live here under the green flag position on lap number 87, and he is down and away. Curtis Kelly falling right in behind, in line behind Pastor, and here comes that 10 car of Jared McCauley. He's on the inside trying to get back to his teammate, trying to make it a Stuart Haas 1-2 right now.
Yeah, Jared McCauley had some speed, went from the back to the front once again here, and he's been hanging out, making some moves as this race has gone on. Would definitely not be surprised to see him come to victory lane. The 22 of Justin Barkley keeps hanging out just outside the top 5, trying to keep that 22 Ford clean up here, but just behind him you got the 43 of Andrew Miller and the 2 of Jeff Weimer trying to get this inside line going towards the front once again.
Yeah, here we are, 43 laps to go here in this one. Justin Barkley finds himself battling for a top 5 with Charles Robertson on that inside line. And, you know, the closest Chevy right now, Mike, is all the way back in 8th or 9th position with Christian Delgado. So everybody else, everybody in the top, 8 is either a Ford or a Toyota. So that says a lot about the new body style, and it's going to be hard to compete with there. Is you got Rhea Ferris up there, and I believe she is a lap car. Or that's a 2 car. My bad. My math is not mathing right. It's Jeff Weimer.
$53-year-old driver from Lancaster, Pennsylvania, 123 starts. But of those 123, he only has 38 DNFs, so heck of a job finishing races here in the iSNF Cup Series.
And you say I have no life. Jeez. 123 cup starts. But that's over years. That's not over a few weeks, though.
Yeah, that's definitely not over like a week.
Meanwhile, back at the ranch, here comes Pastor and Curtis Kelly battling pretty hard right now. We're working lap 92, and I believe that will take us to our 38 to go here. Oh man, what a day.
Day's not over yet. Night's still young.
The night's still young. And coming up next, you can hear Mike and Liam with ECR as they go to Rockingham. Mike, you got to be excited for that one as we go to short track racing over there on ECR.
Yeah, ECR gonna show out once again. Had a little rough start to their season there, but Charles Robertson trying to make his way back as he's bouncing off the inside lane, but definitely excited to actually call my first race there at the Rock, as I'm gonna be purchasing that probably right before go time.
Yeah, I'll be out on assignment, and I was talking to Dave about that. I said I'll check, and he goes no. Don't do that. he goes, he goes, he goes. Saturday is all about the lady. Make sure she comes first.
Yeah, definitely. With how much time we spend doing this stuff, definitely have to do that. Jared McCauley is trying to make that outside line work and just hasn't been able to get up there. See a lap car up on the high side.
And that looks like the 33 car.
As that outside lane just decided to go up almost right next to the 33, try and shove him into the wall almost.
That was a check your pants moment there for Bourget in that number 33 car. It's been the Pastor and Kelly show all night long, and here comes Andrew Miller on the outside, running the outside solo, but he's really not getting anywhere. So we got a little over 34 laps to go.
Yeah, I keep seeing these guys pop up with, 17, 19 as their age. It's like, man, if I would have started back then.
The age of 17, I was doing let's see, World of Outlaws 2002 on the PlayStation. That was the racing game of the year, buddy.
Yeah, back in the day. Jared McCauley still trying to get that outside line to work. Has Brian Chu pushing it, but still not really going anywhere, as the 16 machine of Christian Delgado is not quite on the rear bumper of that 84 machine. They have the lap car behind them there as well, so nobody's trying to jump out.
33 to go.
I would think that the 43 would try and get out in front of the 84 Brian Chu and kind of help him get pushed towards the front, but they are still racing each other side by side. Brian Chu just staying in that high lane.
There we have 31 to go, and Brian Chu still will not come off that high line as we got a car down to the inside. It looks like the one car of Mike Iskander finally gets it back out on the track, as he is several laps down, but nonetheless he's going to try to get some points here. As we come down, we have 30 to go here, lap 100, the century mark. But Pastor has been in command of this whole third stage and half of second stage. Things are about to get crazy down the back straightaway.
Yeah, definitely. You're gonna want to pay attention to that 84 Toyota of Brian Chu. He last came down on lap 68. Well, never mind. Forget what I was saying. We have a caution out. What? Wow. The 8, the 7. Let's see if we can take a different look here.
Ooh, the whole 5.
Trying to see here. See if we can get to 21 Chris. That's a 78.
78 looks like the 7's involved, 23 is involved, or that's the 44 car that's involved. The 78 comes down, gets the 21
Yeah, let's
car.
see here. See if we can take a look here. Goes down to the inside of the 99. Bumps it a little bit there. The 21 just tries to fit that 78 right where there was no place being there. And that's going to stack up the whole field back here. 99 and 44 are getting melded together. The 8 and 7 slide back up the track. They get ran into there. There goes the whole 4 cars there going around. So everybody should have came down pit lane to get full of fuel, make it to the end there.
Yep, and so that Angel Hernandez has got his lap back for via wave around. So that means we have 24 cars on the lead. And that means we're getting ready to go back to green. Shane Griffin through the restart zone. The 37-year-old out of Cincinnati, Ohio. He's got Charles Robertson on his outside. And we are back to green with on lap 104. 26 laps to go here. As things are going to start getting slicey and dicey coming down the back straightaway. And Justin Barkley on the outside with the 54 car of Charles Robertson. And that 11 car starting to fade. We got 22 into the wall. But we're going to stay green though. Now I want to bring out the caution.
That was going to be a massive save until...
It wasn't.
yeah, until it didn't.
26 laps to go. And the caution comes out.
So I'm going to send my overtime to you, Alan. So 22 gets into the outside wall. Everybody's pretty good here. Back to watch.
It was just out of frame too.
38.
Let's go back to
I mean, look at the 38 here. (24) 42. The 3 gets a little bump. Everybody kind of stays there. The 45 goes up, tries to avoid it. The 38 comes back up on the track right into the 42. And that's what's going to actually bring out the caution as they get stacked up once again back here.
man.
It looks like everybody was going to make it, and then the 38 just couldn't keep it off the track, wound up sliding up the track and across the nose of the 42, which brought out that caution.
So we line up again. We're going to have a little over 23 laps to go here in this one. I believe we're still single file and I think this might even be the one to go, one to green here. So
One driver I kind of want to look at here is Shane Griffin. Shane Griffin came down on lap 84. Everybody else has came down on lap 101 or later. So if he has enough fuel to make it to the end, this might be the play to get him inside that top 10.
I think it is. Look, these guys all through the field are on different strategies, and they're ranging from what Shane Griffin's doing in that number 11 car from Joe Gibbs Racing, all the way back to even Andrew Miller. There, he might have, came down there at lap 101 just to make sure. Everybody's lap 101, 102. As we get ready to come back to green, Charles Robeson in control of Shane Griffin is actually in control of the field there. As he's elected to go to the outside on the shoes rule. Tristan Bailey there in that number 19 car. We've talked a lot about him too, and he's run a smooth race up to this point there. As we get ready to come back to green here on lap 107 here.
Yeah, definitely. Tristan Bailey in that 19 machine elected to come down to get fuel only, but here we go as we head to the Geico restart zone. As they get stacked up.
Whoa!
Shane Griffin missed a gear and stacked up that whole outside line. Everybody is going to the back as that whole outside line got stacked up.
That's gonna be.
Like Joey Maines is involved in that one.
Shane either didn't take off or he spun the tires.
Oh. Well, that's kind of what happened there. Let's see if we can take a different look here. Go to the right one here.
That's okay.
So
Yeah,
on
you
board
want
here with the 11 of Shane Posey here.
Here we go. And green, 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 green. He spun the tires.
Yes, he did.
You know those times in life where you regret life's decisions? He's really regretting that one.
Yeah, just look at that stack up there. Everybody trying to figure out where to go. Oh, the 31 gets back up the track. The 51. The 9.
So that's going to put Charles Robertson in the lead now. He's got Jared McCauley there on his outside. So you got to wonder, does Charles Robertson stay pat and do the inside line, or does he try to move to the outside line and hope that Tristan Bailey takes the bait and those two JGR teammates work together?
I think you try and keep your teammate behind you, so. I think I'd stay on the inside lane here. But it really doesn't matter. I think it'd be easier if you stayed on the inside. You'd have Tristan Bailey, and you also have Michael Gervey there as well.
Michael Gervey's a driver out of Lawson, Missouri. Never heard of Lawson, Missouri, but I'm sure it's in the northwestern corner of the state, of the Show Me State. Roberson out of Knightsville, South Carolina there, age 27. He's got 9 wins on 102 starts. Jared McCauley there in that tank car out of Marincia, Arizona. If you are, YouTube, that's the good thing about YouTube. If you are wrong, they will correct you. Paul Frank checking into the YouTube chat saying hi. Chris Van Mastrick earlier in the YouTube chat says there is skill at Super Speedway's area. So we got 20 laps to go, though.
20 laps to go.
Is anybody's race.
Yes. It definitely is. We've seen guys come from the back to the front, kind of fade out of it just a little bit to save some fuel, make it towards the end, but these guys are all fueled up. 20 laps to go here in the Big Peach 200. Robertson with the button down on that inside lane. Just to his outside is Jared McCauley. He is down and away.
Not the start that he wanted to, but Tristan Bailey there on the back bumper of that 54 car of Charles Robertson. And here comes Brian Shue in the 84 car. Ooh, 20 car around.
Michael Gervey did not clear the car in front of him and went around. That one there, that big pileup was brought on by that 20 Toyota. Go back and take a look here.
Enemy number 1 in the chat. If you are on the radio right now, you are not liking the fact that you are Michael Gervey.
Here's the restart.
Yeah, it looks like he went down that inside line and tried to clear himself.
Well, there goes one of the favorites.
Maybe got a piece of it too in that 45 car.
I didn't know Matt was in Buffalo.
Matt Mettler, 39 years of age, from Buffalo, New York.
Well, that definitely stacked up the field there.
The things you learn on iSNF. Matt Mettler, a former team member of SRM, went on to other things, other projects that he had going on, I guess.
So we're gonna be 15 laps to go. Let me go back green. 14.
15. You got to remember, Mike. St. Louis map is different from Wyoming map. But I was suspected to be 15 ago.
So with some favorites getting taken out there, like Angel Hernandez might have been able to take his faster pair, so he might be driving angry here to get back towards the front.
Yeah.
Jackson
you ever done
car.
angry race car driving, Mike?
Yes.
Angry race car driving. It's a sight to behold.
I definitely think these guys are wanting to stay out front after seeing the calamity that has happened in the back half of the field these last couple of restarts. Cautions do breed cautions, so you never know. We might not be done with those things.
Or commentators bring out cautions too.
Well, you started it, but you know. As these guys get stacked back up, this time it looks like Robertson's going to take the high side. Let Tristan Bailey take the low end.
Before we go back to green, let me go back to curtain. Frank Marchese, the normal guy in the booth, you know, normal voice. He is, you know, doing a Padres game producer, and unfortunately, the Padres lost in spring training today by the score of 7-11. There in Arizona. And my beloved St. Louis Cardinals won by 5 runs, though. I don't have to hear that tomorrow, but you know, and the Phillies did win too. So
Dave will let you know.
Trust me, we've been down that road. Nonetheless, Tristan Bailey trying to win this race here in Atlanta, Georgia. Here, so we get ready to go back to green flag racing.
Robertson with a heck of a jump there. No worried about spinning tires in that outside lane this time as he goes straight to the front. Tristan Bailey's going to try and close in. Brian Chu hanging with him as well.
The inside line has 3 Toyotas in it. The nearest Ford is back there in fourth with Jared McCauley there. And the 2 cars go to the outside line. Here comes Isaac Wilson, your stage 1 winner. He is going to take 3rd position. As they try to clear the inside line, going to try to clear that 84 car, but give the advantage to Robertson and that 54 car.
Isaac Wilson thought about pulling up in front of Brian Chu, elected better of it as he saw the lap car coming in as they get set to battle it out here with 14 laps to go. Chu is losing a little bit of ground there as the 24 jumps up. Well, he was going to jump up in front of Brian Chu, but it looks like Brian Chu just does not have the car to make it towards the front as Jeff Weimer goes down and around him, gets all over the back bumper of the 2 of Jeff Weimer. And we are under caution once again.
Wow.
Not
13 laps.
Not sure what brought out that caution, but see if we can take a look here. Looks like it's just up in front. See what the 14 machine saw here. Oh, the 11. The 11 kind of brought it out there. That is Shane Griffin. They're going to get stacked back up here again with inside 10 laps to go.
We're getting there inch by inch.
Well, speaking of your St. Louis Cardinals, I happen to know one of their draft picks from a couple years ago.
Oh, factoid.
Yeah. His name's Nathan Church. He's actually one of my coworkers' nephews. He's been playing down at actually been playing in Peoria for their minor league team there, but he got lucky enough last year to play spring training with the major league club down in Florida. So
does that make you a Cardinals fan by default then?
yeah, a little bit.
Just don't tell Dave.
So here we go. They get
Oh.
stacked back up. We're going to have 9 green flag laps, hopefully, fingers crossed, as Charles Robinson's going to elect to take that high side and lean him back to green.
Charles Robertson, Tristan Bailey on the inside. Hey, my Cardinals are going to go 12 and 24. It all makes perfect sense. We got the Demons out of the way last year. You know, I believe Ollie Marmol is on the hot seat this year. He's got to make something happen. You know, they got to get Goldschmidt's contract renewed for sure, but nonetheless, Charles Robertson would like to get this green flag renewed as we come down the back straightaway.
Guys wanting to get those green flag runs. He's had the speed to get out there. He just needs it to go green for the rest of the time here. Tristan Bailey down to the inside. Man to watch out for is going to be the 24 Chevy of Isaac Wilson. He's had tons of speed here. Stage one. We'll see if he's going to be able to bring home the victory here as they get ready to go back to green. Pace car is in. Robertson with the high side has the number 2, Jeff Weimer, all over his back bumper as he's going to get a shove to the start-finish line. Tristan Bailey also gets a good run, but Robertson slides down in front and is going to take the lead here.
Robertson on the inside. Tristan Bailey on it, right behind him. Isaac Wilson on the inside also, and that inside line is very strong right now. As we come down the back straightaway, who's going to get the right pushes?
Oh, the 10 car slide out in front of Brian Chu. Misjudged the corner, carried too much speed as the 2 goes around now.
Around. Yikes. And the 2 car goes around. That's it. That's it. That's it. If these guys, I take blame for all the cautions tonight. These drivers can.
The 16 got into the 48, shoved him into the outside wall with the 77, getting to the door of the 16. But that didn't bring out the caution, and you saw up in front the 10 slide across the nose of the 84. The 77 goes down to the inside. The 2 still drifts down, gets the nose just on the edge of the 41, and the 77 slides up just a little bit there into the left rear quarter of the 2, and the 2 gets turned as they are wrecking down the front stretch here.
I'm not just sure that these guys are going to air their grievances to each other, but hey, you send all grievances to Alan here in the SRM booth.
Just look at this, though. So here's the 10 down on the inside lane, Jared McCauley. He gets a run, knows he's going to hit the 24 wrong, goes to get up in front of the 84, overshoots the gap, and goes clear out to the 3rd lane. You see him kind of wrecking behind, but the 41 gets a run down on the inside. They're side by side, 3 wide in front of them. And then the 77 drifts up, the 2 drifts up, and then you'll see the 2 come down. tap the 41 in the right rear. And then the 77 just keeps the momentum and winds up turning the 2 there.
Seven laps to go.
5 green flag, please. I believe this is probably going to be a single file restart, maybe? Because I don't know that they made one lap, but we'll see if these guys stack it up. No, they're going to stack it up.
Yeah, they're going to double it up here. Charles Robinson in command of the field. Michael Hackstrom there in that 15 car. He has worked his way up, find himself in the top 3 spot right now. As he's going to be on the outside of Charles Robertson. Tristan Bailey going to be on the inside due to Robertson taking the outside line there. We just got to make it 5 laps. Yeah. 5 lap shootout. A lot of bent sheet metal and drivers mad at the announce booth. Not at Mike though.
We'll see how this goes once they get back under green flag conditions. We saw Robertson get huge runs on the restart. We'll see if he's able to do the same this time. They get ready to head to the start finish line. Pace car is going to make that left-hand turn. We are going to get set to turn them loose for 5 more laps here in the iSNF Cup Series. Big Peach 200 at Atlanta Motor Speedway. 19 had to check up just a bit as Robertson waited to the end of the restart zone, but that's going to allow Tristan Bailey to slide on right behind him here.
Charles Robertson in command of this field. Tristan Bailey on the inside, right on the tail. Isaac Wilson right there in P3. We come down the back straightaway with 5 laps to go. Julian Martinez, Pastor, riding back there. He's in the top 6 position. Does he have anything for these guys?
He's all over the back of that 15 and the 10s, all over the back of the 84. Jared McCulley is all over Brian Chu here. Brian Chu gets a run. Definitely a guy to look out for as they're wrecking back behind once again here.
That is overtime. As we had 4 flanges in the air.
I'm going to say Joey Maines has had about enough of Atlanta Motor Speedway tonight.
He is one guy that's looking to get out to Vegas and maybe increase his odds a little bit.
Let's go back just a little bit here. What happened with 78 of Treadwell here? Oh, he just got loose, went down below that red line, got loose, got sent up the track. And that is going to wreck the 51, the 5, the 2, all jammed up here as the 5's trying to get out of it, slow down enough to let them go away and then go down to the bottom, but
nowhere for no one to go.
Nope. Joey Maines and Angel Hernandez both caught up in it as well, so a couple favorites for the race win are going to be taken out here, and we're going to be set for overtime. We do have 3 overtime chances here. So we will see how this shakes out with a 3-lap shootout to the end. So, do you want to go over the overtime rules for everybody watching, Ellen?
Okay, here's the overtime rules since, you know, I kind of caused it. Anyway, so we're going to get lined up here and we're going to go to green with 2 laps to go. If we get a caution flag before we get back to the line, we're going to re-rack it and restack it, try it again. If we get to the white flag, that's the race. Whatever happens past the white flag. So, for instance, if Roberson is in the lead and we take the white flag and he goes caution, guess what? He's the race winner. If we don't make it back to the white flag and we get caution, guess what? Tristan Bailey gets another shot. So, that's the overtime rules.
Yeah, it looks like they got restacked here. Robertson taking the high side once again. Tristan Bailey has got to be ready to play those restart games that tend to happen here when you get to the overtime period.
Yes.
They head down the backstretch for hopefully the final time under 60 miles an hour. 54 Toyota of Charles Robertson leading here, looking to get his 10th win in the Cup Series. Tristan Bailey looking to get win number 3. Brian Chu also looking to get win number 3. Got a ton of top 10 finishes though, of 134 starts, but we get ready to go. We head back to the Geico restart zone. Pace car is in. Robertson on the high line, Bailey on the bottom side. Here we go. See when Robertson's going to elect to take off. He waits till almost the end, kind of stacks up that inside line, but Tristan Bailey was waiting for him as they go side by side into turn 1.
Yeah, Mike, we got 3 Toyotas up there in the top 3. We got Robertson, we got Chu, and we got Tristan Bailey. But nonetheless, we have 2 laps to go. Will we make it through 2 laps? Nobody knows. Brian Chu on the inside making a run for the lead. Jackson Carr up there in that 13 car. He's trying to make a run, trying to get past Robertson. To the white flag. Who's it gonna be? We got white flag. The leader crosses the line.
Well, like Brian Chu takes that white flag, and we are official here in the Big Peach 200. Side by side they go, wrecking back behind them, but they are going to race back to the start-finish line. Brian Chu in front, Robertson on the high side, Jackson Carr on the high side as well. Who's it going to be as they head into the front stretch?
Get the advantage to Chu. Spins out. Tristan Bailey's going to win. The driver out of Carrier, Mississippi.
Take a look here at the finish here. Down below the red line, turns Chu. Brings out the caution.
You want to know something, Mike? It's, you know, I joke all the time and say, I would like my grandma to win a race. Well, guess what?
Well, there's just one problem. Super Speedway rules are in effect, so.
Oh, he's got the left sides on the line. He goes down.
So I'm going to say it might be the 13 of Jackson Carr might be getting the win here. We'll have to wait and see what the officials say here.
as if these finishes don't get any crazier. I mean, the 13 is doing burnouts right now.
Definitely looks like Jackson Carr is going to be declared the official winner here in the Big Peach 200.
So the 13 car is officially the winner because he was the only one legal out of the bunch that crossed the line in that front group.
That is what we thought, Rhea. Thanks for jumping in here, but
Yep. Oh, okay. I just wanted to update. Yep.
sounds good.
And you heard it there. So then that would make your top three: Jackson Carr, Isaac Wilson, and Charles Roberson, I believe, right? They're doing dueling burnouts. Well, let's go ahead and get a race winner up here to the SRM booth here. And I'll talk to Jackson while you sort out the other two guys.
Sounds good.
And Jackson, this is Alan and Mike in the SRM booth. How's it going?
Better now. A lot better now.
What a race to the finish that was. You came and went all night, and then you found yourself up there on the last lap as they're wrecking on checkers. You find yourself in the middle of the melee there.
Yeah, I was up front at the start, and then I got involved in one of the wrecks and went to the back, and it's a gulag back there, man. But just the people just can't like coordinate, and it was messy. So track position was so key in this race, and I knew coming up through the field, I knew I had a good shot on those last restarts. Of course, I had Christian behind me, so man, that last restart was just chaotic. I don't even remember what happened. Just coming off of four, I know Charles from earlier in the race, he kept on going into the third lane in the second lane, and it was like before it wasn't working. So I knew he was going to do it again because he's been doing it all race, and I just waited for him to go up, split him in the middle, and then I just tried to get a podium, but they wrecked, I guess. I got second, and then the 19 got disqualified. So, I'd rather win by leading every lap, but it's Atlanta. I hate this track. I hate everything about it. I love Daytona. I love Talladega. This is not a super speedway. This is iRacing super speedway, and this are not super speedways. They are fakes. They're not the real thing, and I'm just glad I could get it done here. I don't really do this track much, so I didn't race it. So this is the first time I've raced it, because usually before, if I usually don't do it, but since Mark paid the entry fee for this, I thought I'm not gonna not show up if I can. So I showed up. Never have done iSNF here, so I didn't really know who to work with. I knew the 24 is always good here. All the Hendrick cars except the 48 were pretty good here, so I knew they were going to be good. Christian's always good. Some of the JGR cars are usually pretty fast. The 10 of Jared, he was also really good pusher to be by, and it was just I just kind of had to pick my poison. I know I made some people mad because if you want to pass here, you gotta force people up. There is no give here. There is only take. You can't give, or you're gonna just fall back. So sorry if I made anybody mad, but I mean, I'm in winner's circle. I'm in victory lane, so I don't really care at the end of the day.
Is there anybody that you'd like to thank to help get you here tonight?
Obviously, my dad with this Moza wheel helping me. We're in the Bathurst 12 hours right now as well, so I got to go back and do that and finish that race. So obviously, everybody in the BC that I was working with. Again, all the people that I said before that were good to work with. PBR, Burnt Rubber Racing, the Fifth Line, the Bean Team, of course. Bean Team right now in the Bathurst 12-hour. We're gonna go try to win it. I don't think we can. So, and you guys for the broadcast. Can't wait to watch this back.
All right, Jackson Carr. Well, we'll let you get back to the Bathurst, and good luck, and be sure to let us know how it goes.
Yeah.
Jackson Carr, everybody. And Mike, before we bring our other podium guys up here, what a better way to take a break from the 12 hours of Bathurst than to come over here to iSNF and win a cup race.
Well, I guess that's definitely a little different. I mean, you head to Bathurst and you're on the mountain, so that's definitely a treacherous track, but apparently so's this one.
All right. And we're going to go ahead and bring our stage 1 winner into the booth, and you have Isaac Wilson.
Hey, Isaac, Mike up in the booth, man.
Guys?
Heck of a run there.
Yeah, we were discussing what's going on with that. It got a little heated because they were saying I went below the red, and I was like, I was forced. I had nowhere to go. I didn't want to wreck 13. I know me and 13 got into it at Charlotte Roval, but we worked things out, and I was like, I don't want to wreck him. So he kept coming down, and I had to either move down a little bit or wreck him. So, but I got a really crappy jump on that restart, and I kind of screwed me for that finish of the race. Wish I could have won it, but whether 19 was forced or not, I still got a top 3 out of it, so I'll take it.
Yeah, definitely looked like it was a heck of a race there for the finish. Those cautions definitely had you working on your restart game. Those late race restarts always have games being played, so looked like you had to check up a little bit, being not the leader of that outside or inside lane, whichever lane you chose the last few times. But
I actually think the 54 went earlier than he had been going before, because that was, I don't know, like the 4th or 5th restart I had been behind the 19, and so I was anticipating to go where we had been going, and he went earlier, and I'm like, well, I just missed that restart, and then luckily no one slid down in front of me, take that away. So I was like, I'm just gonna push the hell out of the 19, and hopefully the 84 makes a move to go high, and I can make a move at the end. But 84 stayed in front, and unfortunately Brian lost the race that way. But he had one hell of a race, and got a win taken away.
Definitely, man. Well, congrats on your podium finish here. Anybody else you want to thank before we get you out of here tonight?
Big shout out to Rhea. I know we're all yanking her chains right now because everyone's telling their side of the story and why they feel the red line rule is there. I got suggestions on how to deal with that next season or next time we race here. But big shout out to her putting this race on. Huge shout out to my wife for letting me come in here and waste my time and race every Saturday for 2 hours just to get pissed off sometimes, and she has to deal with me pissed off. So, and big shout out to you guys putting this league on. Me as a broadcaster myself, I know how annoying and how frustrating it can get at times broadcasting races, and you guys put on a hell of a show week in and week out.
Thanks, man. Well, we'll talk to you later.
All right, later, guys.
All right. And we will play musical drivers. I will get Brian Chu up here. Brian is down and Mike in the booth. How you doing?
Hey, what's going on?
Man, subbing in the 84 car. Take us through that, last straight, that restart there.
Yeah, I mean, I got a good restart. I knew Charles and Tristan there have been working together the whole time as teammates. My goal was just to get the best possible restart I could. And when I saw him break up there, I made a move, I don't know, with a little bit over 1 to go to get to the lead. I felt like I was a really good spot there. I know there's a little discussion on some guys possibly getting DQ'd for going below the line. Hey, I get where Tristan is trying to come from. He's going for the win. He kind of had a tragedy, or he lost his grandfather recently, so I know he's racing for something and racing for something that's in his heart. So I know he was kind of wanted to win that hard. So, I felt I was kind of protecting my bottom line there, trying to come to the checker. I definitely didn't want him to get below me. So I don't know. even if he would have gotten below me there, I don't think he would have won, or I would have won. It probably the outside line would have gone for the win. But hey, it is what it is, and I appreciate the hard racing, and it was close. I was very close, and unfortunately just got spun there coming across the checkered.
All right, well, definitely. So before we get you out of here, Brian, is there anybody that you would like to thank to help get you here tonight?
Yeah, just thank Rhea in the league. Forget, we've been around a long time, so she's letting me spare the season because I'm coming on and off again. So appreciate her putting me in different cars throughout the week whenever I can help out. Thank Mom and Dad. I'm down visiting them this week. One of my main sponsors is Dan Gobble from DSR Electric. Thank him. And just everyone else in the league, and didn't have much to work with teammates tonight, but hey, it was fun. I know a lot of the guys, so, and thank you guys up in the booth. So appreciate everything.
All right, Brian. Well, good luck, and hopefully we'll see you next week at Las Vegas.
All right, take care, guys.
And with that being said, Mike, we had a barn burner here in Atlanta, Georgia.
Yeah, we definitely did, and there are going to be some reviews happening to see where the complete order of finish is, but we can go ahead and run down what iRacing says at the moment. iRacing
Unofficial.
Yeah, unofficial. Tristan Bailey is going to be appealing the ruling that he went below the red line. We got Jackson Carr, Isaac Wilson, Charles Robertson, Brian Chu, Jared McCauley, Christian Delgado, Jack Yagerman, Julian Pastor, Michael Hagstrom, Matt Metler, Chris Vandermeer Street. Sorry about that. Franz Bursteiner, Emmanuel Forget, Jason Ricketts, Adrian Arenas, Chris Smith, Rosa Laszlo round out that top 18. 19th is Andrew Miller, Robert Lynch Jr., Steven Scher, Bob Wycroft, John Hopley, Jeff Weimer, Angel Hernandez brings home 25th. Justin Barkley, Brian Treadwell, Casey Tomlinson inside the top 28. Michael Gervey, Rhea Ferris rounds out the top 30. Shane Griffin, Joey Maines, Mathis Busquet, Curtis Kelly, Robert Rowe, Shane Posley, Mike Iskandar, Eduardo Caprato, Larry Fairman, Mike Simon, Hugh Gnomes, and Michael McDowell. So where are we off to next week? You said Las Vegas, right?
Las Vegas.
So that'll tone down a little bit of the super speedway action here in the iSNF series, but points are going to get a little bit tighter, I do believe, tonight. At least for the owner's points, driver's points. It was a good night for Angel Hernandez to have a bad night as driver in second there. Brochure was not here tonight. Anything you want to say before we close out this evening, Alan?
Well, Mike, you have fun over at ECR. I'm gonna go and wine and dine the wife. So, a shout out to our significant others who tolerate this week in and week out, and I know mine really tolerates me being on essentially 5 nights a week, sometimes 7. But nonetheless, be sure to check out ECR with Mike and Liam, and it's going to be a good show. So
definitely. Well, from all the drivers of the iSNF series and all of us here at Sim Racing Media, I want to wish you guys a good night, and we will see you next time from Las Vegas.